Here are the latest numbers from CAL FIRE from 5:20 this morning. Note that these numbers could have changed since then. According to CAL FIRE, it is over 307,000 acres in size, growing nearly 130,000 acres since yesterday afternoon. It's been burning north of its start point, but because of its extreme growth, there are active evacuation orders and warnings across 4 Northern California counties. 3 counties, Butte, Tehama, and Plumas, are now under a governor-mandated state of emergency as a result. Here's a look at the Butte County evacuation map. Much of the northern edge of the county is under evacuation order, while the communities of Magalia and Paradise, both of which were nearly destroyed by the 2018 Camp Fire, are under evacuation warnings. The fire is roughly a mile north of Chico, but has mostly been spreading northeast away from the city. Beyond Butte County, most of the eastern Tehama County is under evacuation order, as well as parts of southern Shasta County. New evacuation orders have been issued up to the edge of Highway 44, right near Singleton and the Lassen Volcanic National Park. Again, this is a fire that is constantly growing and changing. Go to abc10.com for a look at full evacuation maps. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Brendan Menchef for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of a tale of 2 weekends, depending on where you are in Northern California. For most of us in the viewing area, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. We're going to have amazing temperatures that we haven't seen since the end of May / early June, but also kind of the flip side of that is the cooler temperatures will help with the firefight, but the stronger winds that we're going to have today, not necessarily going to help. The Park Fire could continue to grow. That's where we're going to start our weather hit, is with the Park Fire. This is that tower, that Cap Radio Tower, Cohasset Hill, and you can see it's in the perimeter here, in the burn scar, and it's looking off to the east. It's very smoky, very hazy. We continue to see fire activity. There's Cohasset Hill again, Platte Mountain, Sawmill Lookout, and Flea Mountain. Now, these 2 cameras are actually on the southeast side, kind of away from the direction the fire is moving, but it gives us an idea of what the smoke plume is doing, and right now it seems fairly passive, which is good. It's not demonstrating that really explosive activity that it did last night and that it has the last couple of mornings as well. So hopefully it can stay that way and help firefighters get a handle on this. Here's what it looked like as of lunchtime on Friday. It was about 150,000 acres. That's the perimeter. The idea was to try to box it between 99, 32, and 36 up to the north. But unfortunately, we had some very strong southerly winds that they were unable to do that. And we had a massive extension of evacuation orders and warnings all the way up past 44 now. So the fire has crossed 36. Now the idea is, like I said, try to stop it at Highway 44 a little bit further to the north. But because we, once again, could see wind gusts stronger than 20 miles an hour in some places, we've got a lot of evacuation orders. We've even got evacuation warnings now extending over 89 into Lassen National Park. So if you're in this area, a family in this area, pack the go bag now. 1 bag for each person in your household, at least 1 bag for your pets, important documents like birth certificates and passports, prescription medication and medical devices. And if you have room and it's not going to slow you down on the way out the door, you can pack photos or other small sentimental items that you can't replace. Taking a look at satellite, there's that smoke plume. Now, this is elevated, but it is drifting south into the Sacramento Valley. Air quality is not actually greatly reduced in and around the Sacramento metro, mainly because, again, this is at elevation. This is not near surface smoke. But if you look up, it may look pretty hazy. And that smoke, for the most part, once those winds pick up again, it's going to stay off to the north, especially at the surface. We're not going to see much at the surface just because we're not going to have those northerly winds. But certainly that smoke is going to cause a lot of problems for places to our north and our east. Temperature-wise, it's very nice. We're in the 50s and 60s. It will be a very slow and gradual warm-up, and we're only going to make it to about 82 this afternoon. The average high is 95. We were in those triple digits yesterday, and today we're just going to be in those 80s. Again, average high 95 degrees, a nice delta breeze through the daytime. 82 Sacramento, 84 Stockton, 86 in Modesto, 81 Placerville, 85 in Jackson. That delta breeze doesn't completely go away through the daytime either. Of course, it does pick up again once we get to the evening hours, but that's going to help to keep us cool, although it will, again, provide a southerly wind for that fire up north. So over the next 3 days, coolest day today. That's the coolest day since May 25th. Some 80s for the next couple days. And then as we get closer to August, back into those upper 90s, Monica.
Thank you. As the fight to put out the Park Fire continues, we are learning more about who manages the vegetation in this part of the state. ABC 10's Jean Nguyen spoke with forest managers about how, despite efforts to reduce fire risk in the area, this fire has still grown at a historic rate of speed.
As the park fire triples in size since a burning car sparked it on Wednesday, CAL FIRE says the thick vegetation near Chico has fueled its quick growth.
Thick, heavily forested, heavily forested, wooded, thick vegetation, and with a lot of live and dead fuel moisture components associated with it.
While CAL FIRE is taking the lead fighting this fire, the United States Forest Services is helping manage efforts on federal land.
This is coming into the Lassen National Forest. It is coming into the Ishi Wilderness. Now, the Ishi Wilderness is about a 41,000 acre piece of land.
CAL FIRE says one of the main reasons this fire has grown so quickly is because of the lack of fire history in the area.
10 plus years there, 30 plus years in another area, and then some of the areas zero fire history.
Historic fire maps show the last big fire in this exact area was the Campbell Fire in 1990. Other areas that recently burned near the park fire is the Dixie Fire in 2021 and the Camp Fire in 2018, which both burned well over 150,000 acres each. In 2022, the governor's office announced a plan to expand the use of prescribed fires. Their goal starting in 2025 is to burn 400,000 acres a year with the help of state, federal, tribal, and local agencies. The U.S. Forest Services says this year they treated 405 acres in the Ishi Wilderness.
We have increased scope and pace of fuels treatments immensely. We actually hit a record for prescribed fire acres treated last year. We're well on track to do that again this year.
CAL FIRE also burned 600 acres last year where the park fire is now burning, but fire officials say the issue moving forward is access to certain areas.
There's nothing that we can do since it's private land. We can just encourage those landowners to go in there and then masticate and kind of, open things up.
We are also tracking the Gold Complex fire over in Plumas County. It started by lightning on Monday as 4 separate fires in Plumas County. It has now merged into one fire. 3,000 acres have burned, and it's now over 20% contained. Evacuation orders and warnings are no longer in place, meaning people affected by the fire can start returning home. For the latest wildfire information, download the free ABC 10 app and don't forget to turn on notifications.